my answer will be a B. So Marconi. You know, he was. I remember he was involved in the spark gap. So in the first spark gap transmitters that went across the world, across the ocean and stuff to Europe and stuff. So anyway, and I think that was maybe the best answer for me. So anyway, so that's what I say. So yeah, and we're in Manteca. So we're going to see if we can get out of the heat pretty soon. So I've been out walking the dog. So. Or he's been walking me, actually. That's what's happened. I let him tell us which route we're going to take. So, KG7POU, everybody have a nice day.
KG7POU, Bill, thank you so much for stopping by and giving us answer D as in Bravo for today's question of the day. It sounds like you had a good time doing field day, just as I heard every other net the past 24 hours. And I guess the overall census is it was a success. So look forward to hearing everybody next year. So that puts me at the bottom of the list. So before I make any check-ins or call for any check-ins, I remind everybody that the World Radar Network is here 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Of course, our sister net, the World Friendship Net, is on at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 nights per week, different net controller, different format. So support the nets, pick up that microphone, hit that push-to-talk, and be part of a whole sorority of great amateur radio operators. So let's continue on. Let's get some more check-ins. You guys know what to do. I don't need to tell you, but just in case you forgot, pick up that microphone and hit that push-to-talk key. Check in now.
Whiskey 2, Charlie, Alpha Delta, Chris in Phoenix.
India 7, Papa Kilo Lima, Roy in Portland.
Whiskey November 4, Victor, WN4V in Manatee County, Florida.
Let me recognize these three fine amateur radio operators who are taking time out of their Tuesday to check in with us. Let me start at the bottom, work my way up. Whiskey November 4, Victor, Mr. John out there in Bradenton, Florida. Kilo India 7, Papa Kilo Lima. Oh, a familiar voice, not only on this net, but over there on the Alaskan Reflector. Does a great job. And at the top of my list, in Happy Valley, Arizona, Whiskey 2, Charlie Alpha Delta. But before I get to Chris, I remind everybody that we have a great question of the day. Today's question of the day has to do with who built the very first beam antenna. Come on, guys. Think about it. Who built the very first beam antenna? Today's possible answers are A, Morris, B, Marconi, C, Maxwell, or D, Hertz. So, let's continue. Let's go out to Chris. Mr. Chris, what's going on out there in Happy Valley? Are you as happy as they say you are? Go ahead, my friend. What do you got for me?
Good morning, John, and hello, world. Here in Phoenix, in the Happy Valley where everybody's happy, we have, at the moment, 93 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's supposed to go up to 105 today. So my personal prediction is that it'll be 109 Fahrenheit, because it always turns out that way. The Weather Channel app is always wrong. And it's always wrong by undercutting the real temperature that it ends up being. Let's see what else. Marconi. I am guessing Marconi for that question, and it's totally a guess. I don't know. I had a problem understanding what you were saying there, John. At first I thought you said, what was the first steam antenna? And then I thought, that can't be correct. And then it sounded like you were saying beam antenna, beam as in Delta. And finally I figured out you're always saying beam antenna. B as in boy. B as in Bravo. Anyway, I finally figured it out. And I'm guessing Marconi for that. Just sitting here reading the news, the headlines. Looks like Harley Davidson is jumping ship in light of Trump's trade wars, The stock market responded yesterday with a big tumble. Okay. Anyway, that's it for me. Nice talking to you, John, as always, and back to you, W2CAD.
Alpha Delta Whiskey 2, Charlie Alpha Delta, Mr. Cross. Thank you very much for checking in, my friend. I got you down for B as in Bravo. And yeah, I was checking out the old Harley Davidson. You know, Harley Davidson ain't what it used to be. It's too bad because very interesting how the Harley Davidson executives, the upper management, really, I must say, really put the company where they're at today. And they're at, as far as I'm concerned, Harley Davidson is a very slow death, But nevertheless, there's some good Harley Davidson bikes out there, and there will always be wanted. So, Chris, thank you so much. Let's go from Happy Valley out to Mr. Roy, Kilo India 7, Papa Kilo Lima. What's going on, Roy? How are you on a Tuesday? And thank you so much for taking time out of your day and checking in. What do you got for me, my friend? A, B, C, or D?
John, man, it sounds like you're having a good lively that this morning. I can't help but jump in myself here. So, anyway, the question, man, let's see. I think Hertz might have been a little too early in the game, and anyway, I can't remember what Maxwell did. I'm gonna guess Marconi might be the one, but man, that's a tough. Sorry, a cat got up on the table. I'm going to be really interested to hear what the answer is. So, anyway, we're enjoying a beautiful day here in Foreman. Man, I got a bunch of chores to do. I'm going to go out and work outside. Going to flash my phone, hopefully, and do a bunch of other stuff. Get a bunch of stuff done today. We hope. So, anyway, back to you, John. Great nets, and looking forward to hearing the answers. Says KI7PKL.
Fine business there, my friend. Thank you so very much for stopping by on a Tuesday. I got you down for B as in Bravo, B as in Bravo. And yeah, I was trying to think of a question to do today because I did some antenna work this morning, and I did some testing, and somebody says, well, you know, you sound good on the old J-pole. And I thought, well, I'll just leave it. Then I went to a location where I would think that the J-pole would reach, and it didn't reach, unlike the dual band. So I went back to the dual band antenna. We'll leave well enough alone. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So thank you so much, my friend, for stopping by. Let's see here. We have one more check-in here. Whiskey November 4 Victor, Mr. John out of Bradenton, Florida. What's going on, John? What's the weather like there in nice and very warm Florida? And, John, do you think you have an answer to today's question of the day, my friend? A, B, C, or D? Sounds like the alphabet. Go ahead. What do you got?
Okay, John, W2JLE, WN4V. Well, to answer the question, I would guess Marconi. Maxwell, no. Hertz, too early. The other guy, I don't know, so I'll have to guess Marconi. The temperature currently is 89 degrees. We're looking at 93 or higher today. About 70% humidity, a bit on the sticky side. And generally, I'm just staying out of trouble. I've been I'm installing a DVD player on an 100-watt amplifier, a receiver that I have. My DVD or CD player went south. My 5-disc CD player went south. So I just went out and purchased a small DVD player to play CDs with because I'll let it reset. DVD player will play CDs, and I just want something that will play one at a time. I'll ask Chris if he ever watched The Future is Wild, if he's there, if he's listening. Anyway, back to you, and good afternoon. W2JLD, WN4V, Manatee County, Florida.
Victor, Whiskey November 4 Victor W2JLD. Mr. John, thank you so much for stopping by and participating in the Tuesday edition of the World Radio Network. And I like these kind of questions. You know, I was thinking to myself the other day, what was one of the best things that I'm getting out of amateur radio? And I'm a history buff. I love history, especially when it comes to amateur radio, because you think about where we started to where we are today. My God, you could buy a cheap radio for $25, cheap Chinese radio for $25 and get on the air. Back then, you would have to have one whole room dedicated to your power, your transmitter, your receiver, big bulky machines, and now we're tiny little machines. So I got you down for B as in Bravo. And guys, that puts me at the bottom of the list. I'm going to let it drop. W2JLD, you're not control for the Tuesday edition of the World Radio Network. And if you're just joining us, I am here every single Tuesday. And, of course, this Sunday, yes, I will be here this Sunday for the net. So be sure to stop by and join us. And I did want to make a comment about nets, whether it's on the World Conference server or whatever conference server that's on there. You know, I've got a list out there that has more than 153 nets, and it's on IRLP and Echolink. And I tell you something, none of those nets would ever exist without each and every one of you who take time out of your day to pick up that microphone. So, you know, it's a great equation. We run the net, you guys check in, nets need net controllers, and nets need participants. So without you guys checking in, I would just be babbling on like I'm doing now. We don't want to hear that anymore. So pick up that microphone and hit that push to talk key. Who's going to be next? Check in.
Good afternoon, John. KC8, Fox, Queen, Victor. Mark out in Ohio.
Good morning, John, from over the hump in Pa Rump, Kilo Golf 7, Kilo Alpha.
Alrighty, let me stop right there. Looks like we got two fine amateur radio operators on that particular round. Let me recognize Kilo Golf 7, Kilo Alpha, Mr. Lauren out there in Front, Nevada. And then at the top of my list, Kilo Charlie, Fox, Queen, Victor. But before I get to both of those two guys, I want to remind everybody that we have a great question of the day. And today's question of the day has to do with who built the very first beam antenna. Today's possible answers are A, Morris, B, Marconi, C, Maxwell, or D, Hertz. So let me go out to Kilo Charlie, Fox, Queen, Victor, Mr. Mark, out there in Aurora, Ohio, who is a huge participant on multiple nets. I mean, he starts out his day in the very early in the morning, and I hear him on the Cowabunga net. I hear him on the Rooster Rooster net. I hear him on multiple nets. So Mark is definitely a huge participant in checking into the net. So, Mark, what's going on your side of the world? And Mark, do you think you have the correct answer for our question of the day? Go ahead, my friend. The mic is yours.
St. John, Rochester, New York. Well, not a lot happening. Well, yeah, last week I was riding coasters all week, out in the heat and everything. The heat I didn't care for, but the riding I did. I'm going to try Charlie, I think. Let's try that one. I can't recall who it was. Well, I'm going to try that one, and we'll stay tuned. This is the way you'll stay to the net. Stay tuned and hear the answer at the end. But everything else going good, John. You know, well, I did do some net on Tuesday, Wednesday, because at 6, King's Dominion, they have Wi-Fi in the whole park. So when I'm there, I didn't mind using and being connected. I think I was connected that day at some point in something. Because, having Wi-Fi. Yeah, I just got a thing on my phone the other day that said Verizon's going to start trying to use Wi-Fi if they don't have their service working in your area, or your later on the service. It's going to try to use Wi-Fi, I guess. So they're trying to do things. I think there's one of them. I'm trying to think which company is. I know they sell their phones through Target, I think. And that's what they use, more Wi-Fi than the cell network. If they can use the Wi-Fi they use, I can't think which carrier it was. But we'll send it back to net. KG7POU.
Queen Victor, Kilo Charlie, Fox Queen Victor, Mr. Mark, thank you so very much for checking in. I got you down for C as in Charlie. Like I said, folks, Mark is a great participant in many nets. And, yep, stay tuned. Stay tuned. At the end of the net, I'll give you guys the answer, and we'll go from there. And, of course, like I said before, I've been doing the nets, geez, at least 3 years on the World Radio Network. I know I have more than 300 belts under my belt. And you know, it's great to do the nets because there's a double-edged sword there. It gets you an experience of being a net controller. It's great for passing traffic. It's also great for writing and listening skills because as a net controller, you have to be very cognizant of the call signs, which means you have to pay very, very clear attention to the person that's speaking, and you also have to have the ability to write down the call signs correctly. So there's a lot of stuff that's entailed in being a net controller, and you know, it just all those things come together for a great little package. So let's continue on. Let me go to a fantastic net controller here on the World Conference server on Mondays. He does a net, and of course on Fridays, and he's got another job. He's our webmaster. So let me go to the webmaster, Mr. Lauren, Kilo Golf 7 Kilo Alpha. What's going on in front of Nevada, Lauren? The mic is yours.
John, I was waiting to see if whoever made that noise was checking in or out or wanted to say anything, but didn't sound like it. All right, so good morning, everybody. KG7K over the hump and pot rump. Not much going on today. Just things are quiet. It's our Monday here at work, so usually I get mobbed by this time in the morning, but right now, not too much. We got a lot of work going on. Oh man, we got some big jobs come in on the embroidery. We're going to keep it busy, and we got a machine broken down, hoping to get our tech in here this week for it, but other than that, not much going on. I didn't get over to field day this weekend, but I was able to make about 3 contacts on my HF to make sure both my bands were all working, and they were, so that worked out real good. So other than that, thanks for doing the net, John, and catch you a little bit later. I'll be listening in the background. KG7K, back to net control.
Alpha, Kilo Golf 7, Kilo Alpha, W2JLD. Mr. Lund, you are not going to scoot away that easy, my friend. Not on my net, not on my watch. I got a great question of the day. Not sure if you heard it, but I'm certainly going to repeat it. Who built the very first beam antenna? Pretty simple question. So here's the possible answers for this very simple question. Today's possible answers are A, Morris, B, Marconi, C, Maxwell, or D, Hertz. So, Mr. Lauren, what do you got for me?
Well, once before I got fooled on a question that we thought was Marconi, and it didn't. Turned out to be Maxwell, so I'm going to take C as in Charlie this time. See how close I get. KG7, and of course, whoever was doing it was probably drinking Jim Beam. KG7K.
Alpha, Kilo Golf 7 and Kilo Alpha. Oh, that's next week, Lauren. Our question next week will have something to do with Jim Beam and whiskey. Hi. So thank you so very much for checking in. Oh, my God, that's pretty funny. All right, let's continue on. Wait a minute, I can't continue on. I have no more checking. So remember, pick up that microphone, hit that push-to-talk key. Who is going to be next on my list?
Good morning, Net Control. This is Paul from Vegas, Kilo, India, 7, Zulu, Foxtrot Hotel. Thank you.
November 6, India, Tango Echo. November 6, India, Tango Echo.
Right there, let me stop right there and recognize these 2 fine amateur radio operators who are checking in on the Tuesday edition of the World Radio Network. Start at the bottom, work my way up. There's only 2 of you, so we'll take me long to work my way up. November 6, India, Tango Echo, Mr. Chris. And at the top of my list, Kilo India 7, Zulu, Foxtrot Hotel, Mr. Paul. I believe it's the first time checking in my net. So let's go to Mr. Paul in Las Vegas, Nevada, another Las Vegas resident. So, Paul, what's going on in Las Vegas? And, Paul, do you think you know the answer to our question of the day? Come on back, my friend. Welcome to the World Radio Network.
Thank you. Yes, this is the first time checking in on your program. As I stated on some of the other programs, I've just got my call signs just over a week ago. Tomorrow, I guess it would be. Took the test on my birthday, the 13th of June. Got 100% technician's license. Didn't do too well tonight in the general, but I wasn't prepared at all. It's Vegas, as everybody probably knows, it's hotter than heck here, and just looking for places to go vacation during the summertime. As far as the question, I think A, B, and D, I think are too easy to lean that way, so I'm going to go with C also. So, but other than that, I did not get out for field day. I was running errands. I had to drive over to Palm Springs for the day. So, but that's it. Kilo India 7, Zulu Foxtrot Hotel.
Zulu Foxtrot Hotel, Mr. Paul out there at Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, Paul, first of all, I want to send you a very belated happy birthday to you, June 13th, so happy birthday to you. And secondly, congratulations on getting your ticket, and we certainly appreciate you checking in. We are here 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. We have 2 flagship events that we put on yearly. The first one is April 18th, and that was World Amateur Radio Day, and that was a huge success. And then the next special event that we will be putting on is Heidi Lamar Day, and that's November 9th, 2018, and we've been doing that. I think this will be our 3rd year that we put that on, so we're looking forward to that. And for the very first time this year, November 11th, we're going to get together with the American Red Cross and celebrate Veterans Day and get linked up while they do their net. So thank you so very much, Paul, for checking in. Let's go to Chris, November 6th, India Tango Echo. Good morning to you, my friend. What's going on in your side of the world? The mic is yours.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. November 6th, India Tango Echo. First, I have to tag on to your well wishes for Paul. Happy birthday, Paul. Congratulations as well. Awesome. Nice job. Also, you had mentioned, sorry, Net, you had mentioned something about being a net control. Can't stress that enough. We actually had one of our emergency nets switch from doing it every Tuesday at noon to every other Tuesday because we ended up not having enough net control people. So now we have to check in online and stuff like that. And it's just not the same. But yeah, if you're going to operate, just operate. But on the question of the day, I'm going to have to go, I want to say C, but I'm going to be contrary and say A. I'll have to go Morris. So A for me. And yeah. Nice weather here in the Bay Area, and everybody have a good day. November 6th, India Tango Echo, back to net control.
Business there, Chris. Fine business. Thank you so very much for checking in. November 6th, India Tango Echo, and I got you down for A as in Alpha. A as in Alpha. And you're absolutely right, my friend. You're absolutely right. You know, there was a net over there on the French conference server, and they were running 7 days a week, and they were very, very strong for a couple of years. And over the past 6 months, it's like the net controllers just dropped off the face of the earth, which inevitably made the nets disappear. And it's unfortunate because the gentleman that was putting on the nets was a great friend of mine, or is a great friend of mine, and he's worked very hard to get those nets going. But, you know, where one thing stops, new beginnings happen. So where that net ended, his new endeavors are beginning. So, you know, I must say here on the World Conference server, we are definitely in need of some net controllers. So, you know, on Tuesday night on the World Friendship Net, we have passed the mic night, which is really great because it gives you an opportunity to test the waters, you know, so to speak. Give it a spin and, you know, try your hand. Even if you want to do a round of check-ins or do the net the whole entire evening, you know, get a hold of the net manager, Kilo Mike 4 Oscar Charlie at gmail.com. He'll hook you up. or get a hold of Lee, Kilo Delta Tango Bravo Charlie. I believe his email is also at gmail.com. And we could definitely need some, definitely use some fresh blood. So speaking of fresh blood, I need some fresh blood here on the Tuesday edition of the World Radio Network. You guys know what to do. You pick up that microphone, you hit that push talk key, second now, slowly, and in phonetics.
Golf 7 Romeo Kilo Foxtrot. Kilo Golf 7 Romeo Kilo Foxtrot. John, you wanted some blood? Oh, you're going to get it.
Very nice, Victor Echo 4 Yankee Lima read check.
Stop right there and let me recognize these two fine amateur radio operators. One is a recheck and one is a regular check-in. We have Rosie, Victor Echo 4 Yankee Lima with a recheck, and at the top of my list, Kilo Golf 7 Romeo Kilo Foxtrot, Mr. Barry out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. So let's go out to Barry. Barry, what's going on in your side of the world of Barry? Before I get to you, we got a great question of the day. I'm not sure if you heard it. If you did hear it and you know the answer, come on back, and if you didn't hear it, let me know, and I'll repeat it. So, Kilo Golf 7, Romeo Kilo Foxtrot, to the rescue. Boy, he's out for blood. Hi. Go ahead, Barry.
Golf 7 Romeo Kilo Foxtrot, Yosemite, Barry, Las Vegas, Nevada. Good morning, John, and good morning, Rosie. John, why don't you take Rosie first? That's a recheck. My transmission is going to, it's going to be full of some brimstone and fire. Take Rosie first, please. And good morning again, Rosie. Hope all is well with you.
Mr. Barry, we'll take Miss Rosie because you got some hellfire and brimstone working up, so I better make sure I get my hot pants on. Let's go to Miss Rosie with the recheck. Go ahead, Rosie. What do you got?
Whiskey GJLG, this is Victor Echo 4 Yankee Lima. Well, say it that way. Half the pants up? Way, too much information. However, being a net controller is not that hard, but it depends on the person as well. I've been net controller as well. I just started this year, so but we're doing so far so good, say it that way, and we hope carrying and getting better at it as well. So there we go. Maybe once I get better, I come on this one as well. We got to wait and see, and the timings and whatnot. And Barry, thank you very much for letting me go ahead. And to answer your question, no, not 100% yet. Got to go to the doctors this afternoon again and see what the result is. And still phoning back and forth with the hotel. It's amazing. You know, like, why do I always have to pay for that? You know? So, why do I have to pay for the phone calls and whatnot? Why don't they phone? I don't understand it. But however, I don't want to knock it. I had some good timings when I went with my husband and whatever. You know, I met lots of good people of you guys. You know, so there we go. Back to net control. Thank you, John, for picking me up.
Kilo Golf KG7 Romeo Kilo Foxtrot Yosemite Barrier. John, before I go any further, well, your last transmission was, you sounded like you were so far underwater that when you come back up, come slowly, you might get the bends. So see if you can straighten out your system and then retransmit, and I'll come back on. KG7RKF, back to net control.
Julia, Lima, how am I coming across?
KG7RKF, John, that last transmission, I didn't understand one word you said. Hopefully you're working on correcting it. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break and see if you can come back on. See if you can come back on and get your, because I don't know if you're also receiving them properly also. So why don't you try to straighten your system out? We'll give you a radio check, and I'll come back on with my brimstone and fire transmission.
There, Mr. Berry, hi, this is Whiskey 2, Juliet Limbadata. How was that? I grabbed another AT. So let me get a audio check. How is that? Am I still warble?
7RKF, yeah. You sound like you're coming up, but go slowly. Yeah, I understood your last transmission, but it was just still extremely poor. And as I said, come up slowly. You don't want to get the bends. So we'll give you a chance to straighten out your system, and then I'll come back with my brimstone and fire.
Go ahead and make the transmission. Why don't you go ahead and make the transmission, and I'll reset my system by the time you do that. Go ahead.
KG7RKF. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, no, your transmission is extremely poor, John. I'm gonna give mine anyway. Anyway, I want to thank you. Maybe your received portion of your system is working properly. I want to thank you so much for your service to amateur radio, which is quite extensive. I want to thank all the other wonderful people worldwide who do the same, especially those who furnish us with some systems so that we can participate in VOIP. Big thank you to the V's and VECs. I always thank those evil servants in Washington, D.C., the FCC, for giving us this spectrum. And a big thank you to my mother, in case Todd's listening. Anyway, here's the local weather. And this summer in Las Vegas, it's going to be redundant. It's going to be 100, 100 and plus, day after day after day, until probably the middle of September. So here is the local weather.
Right now in Las Vegas, it's 91 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Throughout the day, you can expect more of the same, with a high of 109 degrees and a low of 78 degrees.
7RKF, Yosemite Barrier, Las Vegas, Nevada. No, I wouldn't even try to fry an egg out in this. I'd probably ruin the egg within a minute. So now, yeah, this is summer in Las Vegas. I'm still predicting that we're going to break the all-time record here this summer, which I believe officially is 117 degrees. I think we're going to get to 118 or 19, maybe even 120. In any event, well, here's what's going on in the world of high finance. The TS6 in Toronto, the TS660 is up 9.62. The TSX composite is up 138.77. Here in the United States of America, the Nasdaq's up 40.16. The S&P 500 for you, Kathy, is up 9. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 68.59. Before I go any further, as far as the answer to today's question, John, honestly, I don't know the answer, but I tried to do it with some kind of reasoning, with a process of elimination, and I'm going to give you here what my process of elimination was, and it was just a pure guess. I'm going to go with alpha. Hertz, I think, is too early in the game. Marconi is so synonymous with radio, I would just have to throw him out on this question. Maxwell, we gave the answer to you had a question, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and Maxwell was the answer to that question. So I'm going to toss Maxwell out, and I'm going to go with Morris, alpha. That's the answer to my question. Now I'm going to go quick and a little commentary. RKS, Yosemite Valley, Las Vegas, Nevada. I think I don't remember whether it was last week or the week before or one of these days, I said we've become a nation of, aside from being a nation of chronic liars, we've become, and I'm not just talking about at the top, I'm talking about all the way down the line, including me, probably. We've become a nation of chronic hypocrites. Now, first of all, Chris, I hope you're still listening, and I want to go back and talk a little bit about Harley Davidson. So I'm going to take another quick break. KG7RKF, Yosemite Valley, Las Vegas, Nevada. Harley Davidson isn't jumping ship. What Harley Davidson wants to do makes perfect sense. The big demand for motorcycles and motorbikes are not in the United States. They're in India and in China. So they want to go overseas and build those motorcycles over there, or motorbikes over there, because that's where the big demand is going to be, not here in the United States. Here we love trucks. The bigger the better. They think that's what's going on with that. Also, let's look at the other side of the coin. We have BMW, Toyota, Nissan, and Honda. All have car plants in this country. They're all subsidized by the local municipalities, gave them big tax breaks to come here, but it does employ people here. Those cars are made here because the demand is here. A lot of them are also shipped overseas. So, and not only that, by the way, all those plants are non-union, which really degrades our society, in my opinion, in general. So that's what's going on there. And as far as John, once again, we are addicted to cheap Chinese products. Earlier in today's transmission, here we go again with $25 radios. We're addicted. We want to kick China's butt, but we can't get enough of their products. KG7RKF, back to net control. And once again, I'm going to go with Alpha for my answer to today's question. Back to net, and thank you for taking my call.
Romeo Kilo Foxtrot. Sorry about that, Barry. Hopefully my transmission is fine. So let me see. I'm inside the ham shack. I just put the world conference server on hold as a local monitor, and then I went to the Echolink test server, and I did a transmission, and it sounded like I was fine. So, Barry, if you're still out there, how's my transmission now?
KG7 or RKF, everything you're saying is discernible, but I would say definitely a very poor transmission. So I don't know what your problem is over there. Maybe I think you're using the All-Star app. I think maybe you want to go back to Echolink. Try Echolink. My Echolink is everything I'm doing. Although I'm on IRLP, I'm not on Echolink. I'm monitoring on Echolink, but I'm transmitting on IRLP. So maybe you want to try to switch over to Echolink and see if you're doing any better. But you're discernible, but it's a very poor transmission. Back to you, John.
They're transmitting. Was there somebody in there transmitting? It looks like they doubled.
On a packet loss, John, V1KLR.
What was it? Is there a packet loss?
Comment. John, you sound good to me. KL4RCS.
4RCS, KL4RCS. And then I go back to the science. So I have a feeling that the world has to do with the IRLP that is connecting through, because there's other species that they can really just science. So I have a feeling that you're going to have a particular repeater that happens quite a bit of time. So let's see here, 1255, 1258, ARP, I'm going to this is for New York. I got to break it down
RCS, in and out, gotta go.
November 7, Victor Delta Sierra, Gary in Las Vegas.
I'd like to recognize KL4 RCS with an in and out. He's going to go to the last reflector and start his net. And a second check-in, November 7, Victor Delta Sierra. My buddy Gary's out there. So Gary, what's going on in Las Vegas? How's my audio? Go ahead, sir. Back to you.
Good morning, John, and everyone else on the net. You know, that was really weird that when you first started talking, it was warbling pretty bad, and then it cleared right up. Very interesting. Going to be another hot one here in Vegas today, so just staying inside, nothing scheduled, no running around, just trying to stay cool. Everybody have a wonderful day. Catch y'all next time on the net. N7 VDS. Back to you, John. And I'll go with answer B, John. Answer B.
Hi, business there, Gary. November 7, Victor Delta Sierra. I got you down for B as in Bravo. Thank you very much for checking in. All right, guys, we're going to conclude today's edition of the World Radio Network, and I want to thank each and every one of you for checking in. We had a great question of the day. Who was the very first to invent? I believe it was. I'm not sitting on the front porch, so I don't have the exact question in front of me. Hold on, please. Lima Delta W2JLD, Kilo Golf 7 Papa, Oscar Uniform. Gino, you were teed up. You were teed up. I heard you in the background. All right, guys, we're at the bottom of our net. We're going to conclude for today, and today's question had to do with who built the very first beam antenna. Today's possible answers were A, Morse, B, Marconi, C, Maxwell, or D, Hertz. For those of you that picked answer B as in Bravo, congratulations, everyone. You got it correct. And it was in 1916 that Mr. Marconi was the very first to build the beam antenna. Unfortunately, I gave you more of a history around it, but I don't have enough time because I'm afraid my node is going to die on me, so I'm going to have to reset my node. Thank you so very much for stopping by today. I certainly appreciate that. And let's see, I'm going to, once I restart my node, I'm going to hook it back up to the Alaskan reflectors. So I want to thank Ken Johnson, W7AOR, and Nevada Amateur Radio Repeaters Incorporated for the use of the conference server for this net. We want to thank Mike, KM4OOC, for his net manager duties, and of course his assistant net manager, Kilo Delta 8 Tango Bravo Charlie. So please stand by. I'm going to reboot my All-Star node, and then we're going to connect up to the Alaskan net. Please stand by. Julia Lima Delta, please stand by while we connect to the Alaska Morning Net, already in progress.
You today.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I am great, and I'm just so excited because I'm new at this, and this is the second time I've checked into a net today.
Well, very cool. Welcome to the Alaska Morning Net, and welcome to the Ham family, that's for sure. Welcome to the Alaska Morning Net family, I should say, because once you check in here on the Alaska Morning Net, we consider you part of the family. And I see you are new with me, and very good to have you with us. How's your day going?
Thank you. It's really great to be welcomed this day. My day's going great. It's nice and cool here in Oregon today, so I'm happy about that. I'm one of those people who really enjoys cool weather.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Yeah, I don't mind it, you know, also, of course, I live in Alaska, so cool weather's all right with me. I sure wish I could get some more summer, though, some more sunshine. We've had so...
Hold on a second, guys. I'm trying to figure out this damn push-to-talk here. It's not working.